I'm Janelle, I work for Cold Creek, and I'm in the process of planting a pollinator garden in my yard. And what I wanted to do this morning is share with you my thought process in selecting my plants, and also show you some of the plants that we have here at Cold Creek and how you can incorporate them into your garden. Now, the hardest part of a pollinator garden is selecting the plants. And as you can see behind me, we have not made it easy. There are more than 100 feet of tables here, all filled with perennials. And you have to select the few that will fit in your garden. So this is what I've done, and I want to plant the things that I like, the things that I want to see every day when I walk out my back door. And when I talk about pollinators, I'm not talking just about the butterflies, but the bees and the butterflies, because they're all pollinators and they're all attracted to these flowers. They're not mutually exclusive. So the first thing that I'm looking at, well, a couple things. I want to have plants that are blooming all summer long. It's important in the middle of the summer to have stuff for the bees, because the vegetables are done blooming, the blueberries are done blooming, the azaleas are done. So really for the beekeepers, they need people growing things in the summertime to feed their bees. I'm going to talk a little bit about host plants. Host plants are the plants that butterflies lay their eggs on. And then the caterpillars, when the eggs hatch, the caterpillars will eat the plant. And when they're done feeding, they'll go off to form their cocoons, and then we'll have another generation of butterflies. So it's important for butterflies to have both pollinator plants and host plants. And I'll show you a couple of those that we have here at Cold Creek. So the first plant I'm looking at is yarrow or yarrow. Is it potato or potato? I don't know. But it's an earlier bloomer, and I like the look of the color of the foliage, and it's going to have a cluster of blooms at the top, and I just think it's going to be really pretty. Another easy plant to grow that comes in a lot of varieties is Lantana. And these are two of the colors that we currently have, and we'll have more as the summer goes on. It's still a little early in the season for Lantana. In your yard, it's really still just breaking dormancy and growing. The great thing about Lantana is it blooms from when it starts to bloom all the way till frost. And both the butterflies and the bees are attracted to it. It's a very hardy plant, and typically it will come back year after year. Some varieties are more of an annual. This one is going to reliably come back year after year. It's sort of in that same family are verbena. Verbena are also lower and spreading, and you can see some of the colors that we have. They're amazing. And they're also very hardy and reliably come back. This is another color that we have. I think this color's beautiful. Another plant that's going to go in my garden is Goldenrod. And for those of you that think Goldenrod is going to affect your allergies, it's actually not. I Googled that last night. We have two different sizes. One is a normal size, which gets about 3-4 feet tall. The other is a dwarf. And it's a midsummer through fall bloomer, and it's yellow. Personally, I think I like yellow in the garden because it's eye-catching. And yellow is my focus color, and then I accent with other colors. But I think this is going to be neat, and the monarchs like this also. Salvia, which comes in a variety of colors and sizes, and blooms reliably through the summer. And the nice thing, or the fun thing about salvia is it attracts hummingbirds. And I've already seen hummingbirds out here on the salvia. So I'm going to have a couple of these also. This is Sedum, and this variety is Autumn Joy, and it blooms in the fall, late summer to fall, with a really pretty pink bloom. And the individual blooms on the plant are really tiny, so they attract these really tiny little bees and these little wasp-looking things. When you plant some of these plants and you watch them through the summer, you're going to see a variety of pollinators that you've never seen before. And different size pollinators are attracted to different size flowers. So if you have a variety of sizes, like the salvia is a big bloom, This is going to have a tiny bloom. You're going to see completely different pollinators on those plants. And that's part of the fun of having a pollinator garden. One plant that is lots of fun, this is Asclepias tuberosa. It's in the milkweed family, and you can see here, you can see it. It's going to have a reddish bloom on it, and usually they're red and yellow. And then this one here, you can't really see the color yet, is a yellow one. These will get about 3 feet tall. It's a tropical milkweed, but this is the host plant for the monarch. And when these start to bloom out here on the perennial gardens, you'll see a lot of monarchs, and then pretty soon you'll see caterpillars on them. And there are people that will come and buy these plants, and they'll look for the ones that have eggs and caterpillars on them. And then you need to be careful because you're gonna have to keep buying more. There's a children's book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. They're gonna eat a lot, but it's a lot of fun, especially for your kids to watch the caterpillars grow, knowing that they're gonna go off and form a cocoon or a chrysalis and then hatch, and you're gonna have another generation of butterflies. I'm just gonna mention a few other ones, like black-eyed Susans, purple coneflowers. I think we have some Monarda here, which is bee balm. You can see behind me Coreopsis, which are earlier bloomers. So come out, peruse the perennial tables. There are people out here that can help you make your selections, but pick the plants that you like and enjoy them through the summer.